We do not do MRCP for suspected CBD stones for last 15 years. The reason is that endoscopic ultrasound has an accuracy in our hands almost 99.99%. So I don't see the reason for me to do MRCP for suspected lower CBD stone or obstruction. So any patient with malignant or benign biliary obstruction suspected, we always go ahead with a definitive diagnosis with EUS first. I'm going to use a radial scope. This is a young lady of 22, I think, and she has mildly dilated CBD with severe pain, with only some, I'm sure you have all the history of that patient. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to aspirate a little bit of fluid here. I can see a little dark bile in the stomach. So this gives me the first hint that there is something wrong. Whenever you see a dark bile in the stomach or the duodenum. So now I'm going to go into the duodenum and then we will do EUS. So the scope is going into the duodenum. I'm in the pyloric opening and I will enter the duodenum. You can see I'm in the duodenum here. The moment you go into the duodenum, we suck out the air and switch over to ultrasound. And the moment you switch over to ultrasound, you try and position yourself. Very gently you withdraw. You see major vessels in the vicinity, the aorta and I'm already seeing the part of the pancreatic head, and I'm already seeing the gallbladder here. Look at that. This is the gallbladder. This is the pancreatic head. So I'm scanning. Oh yes, there is a stone there in the bile duct. Look at that. Oh yes, I saw the stone there. So you can imagine where that within a matter of few minutes, or maybe a half a minute, you can immediately go into the bile duct and you can see the pancreatic duct. Now I want all of you to pay attention. This is the CBD, this is the pancreatic duct, and this is the stone. This is the gallbladder. So I've already made a diagnosis that there is a stone sitting with a little bit of echogenic bile. You can see the whole cholangiogram. So now tell me, if I can get a beautiful cholangiogram like this, why should I rely on MRC cholangiogram? People will argue it's an invasive cholangiogram. Yes, but when you have a high probability of stone, intermediate to high, it is always safer to go with EUS, CBD, pancreatic duct, gallbladder. I will show you at higher resolution how beautifully you can see that. So now you can see the whole cholangiogram, beautiful, with a stone at the lower end. So on an average, when you are suspecting a CBD stone in our hands, it will not take more than maybe a couple of minutes to identify a stone in the bile duct. I'm going to just freeze a nice image for all of you so that you can appreciate the beauty of EUS cholangiogram. Yes. So you can see the whole length of the CBD here. This is the part of the pancreatic duct. This is the stone. So we already have the stone diagnosis. So ladies and gentlemen, whenever you have a doubt what is the cause of biliary obstruction, EUS in good hands will give you accuracy in tune of 98 to 99%. So we do not rely on CT scan. We do not rely on MRCP. We do not rely on any of this investigation. We'll go ahead straight with EUS. Now just for those who are new to EUS, my colleagues, I want to show you how beautifully you can see the pancreas. Now my scope is sitting in the stomach, and you'll see I'm scanning from the posterior wall of the stomach. You can see the splenoportal confluence. This is a splenic vein, this is a portal vein. This is the pancreatic duct running in the body of the pancreas. And now I'm going to scan at a little higher frequency. You can see whole pancreas beautifully. And you can see the pancreatic duct running beautifully. Look at that. Now I want to really see an imaging modality which will make a pancreatogram better than what you are seeing here. Look at that. You can see the pancreatic duct here. You can see the pancreatic body here. So ladies and gentlemen, if you have a suspected pancreatic disease, the best evaluation on the planet in our hands is EUS. You will have answers in most cases. So you can have beautiful evaluation of the entire pancreas from the neck of the pancreas. This is the neck of the pancreas here, the body of the pancreas, and going into the tail. This is the left kidney you can see. So those surgeons who operate, they will be able to appreciate that the splenic vein is going into the splenic hilum. Of course, we were just at the end of the bile duct. That's why we were saying that it is under CVD. You can see this is the splenic vein, this is the left kidney, and this is the splenic hilum. So we are almost at the tail of the pancreas. So ladies and gentlemen, endoscopic ultrasound is the choice of investigation for, you can see beautiful, right up to the tail, you can see. I will show you. You can see the duct in the pancreatic tail here. Can you see that? Right through and through in the body, up to the genu. So ladies and gentlemen, no debate. If you want the best pancreatic imaging, it is endoscopic ultrasound. No debate on that. So let's go ahead and clear out this duct. EUS ERCP interface. This is a term we popularized in the last 15 years, and more centers in the world are convinced beyond doubts that this is the way to go forward if you want to manage biliary pancreatic science properly. In terms of EUS in one hand, ERCP in other hand, you have these two arms very strong. You can take care of biliary pancreatic system without any problem. Be it any stricture or stone, you'll be able to manage, you'll be able to diagnose, you take a biopsy if required. So, on an average, now I spent some time here, but if I had to do in my routine practice, this procedure would have taken 1 minute. I would have seen the stone, take out the scope, put a duodenoscope down the throat, and I would have gone ahead with ERCP. So now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the reason why EUS and ERCP should be done by one individual, preferably in a unit. Because then you have maximum accuracy of your findings, and you'll be able to justify what you're doing with your patients. So this is my appeal to all aspiring endosonographers and endoscopists of India and the world. Can we have some Buscopan? I need a full Buscopan here. So, I'm already positioned myself into the duodenum, and we will try and cannulate the bile duct now. You can see the ampulla here. We'll try and engage the ampulla with a sphincterotome. Bow, please. Just a moment. Just a moment. Bow, please. Yes, my assistant is bowing it. And we'll try and enter. Now we saw the stone right down in the lower CBD, in the prepapillary portion. So we will try and get a little better position here. Okay, you can see the ampulla much better here. I've done a little bit of long loop position here. So it's a small ampulla. Young female, you got to be very careful. Bow, please. Yes, try. Yes, please. Are we? Supine, will turn patient supine. Let us see what it is. Oh. Can we turn the patient left lateral, please, again? Now, I'm sure a lot of you will be wondering why I'm doing the procedure in the left lateral. But let me tell you, this is a very comfortable position for the bile duct axis as well as for the patient, you know. Now we'll try and cannulate. Let us see. Okay, stop. We will try and cannulate one more time with a little short loop position. Let us see. Okay, try. Do not inject contrast. No. So we already know that there is a stone. So I have a very fair amount of idea that we need to definitely get into this bile duct. Bow, please. Try. Okay. We are using the same hydrophilic guide wire which we use for esophageal stricture here. in order to get inside the bile duct. So we will try and get inside the CBD here. Okay, try please one more time. No? Okay, Anbo, now this is a young female and I don't want her pancreatic duct to be cannulated again and again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the roof of the ampulla. Now I would not request this to be done by any of the aspiring endoscopists in the audience. You should not do this, but you should master this technique. What we are going to do is I'm going to de-roof this ampulla, keeping away from the opening of the bile duct. Needle please. And I'm going to de-roof this ampulla and cut it open and then enter the bile duct. So it's more like a fistulotomy I'm going to do, because I don't have time and the patience, because we have a lot of things to do. So see how we do is, we do this section of the ampulla. Look at that. Yeah, you can see that. I'm keeping away from the pancreatic orifice. Needle please. Now don't go too deep in the center, but I will cut here somewhere, this bulge. Oops, there is some oozing there. You can see the vessel there. Huh? Flush please. So what you can do is, I'm teaching you a technique. If it oozes directly, you have to inject saline adrenaline at the same time, and you can coagulate it at the same time if it bleeds. Okay? So now I'm going to do is, I'm going to teach you the technique of how we coagulate immediately. Okay, and I'm coagulating here because I know I'm away from the pancreatic orifice. Okay, we'll just needle out. Okay, flush please. A little bit of oozing there. We'll control that also. Flush please. And you can see that the oozing has been controlled. So, if it bleeds in a needle knife, you need to control it there and there itself. I think there is a bile duct opening somewhere here. Okay. Can we have a sphincterotome with a guide wire? You can see some bile coming out very gently. Now don't try and cut too much whenever there is a little bit of oozing there. We'll try and enter the bile duct. Wire please. Try. Okay, so I am in the bile duct. This is the opening of the CB.